Today, we are going to discuss Ethereum. Ethereum is a rather new technology that enables multiple computers, regardless of their physical location, to work together as one large supercomputer. This allows the computing load and storage load of certain tasks to be shared amongst other machines. You yourself can add a computer to the Ethereum network by installing special software on it. By owning a participating computer, you receive Ether. Ether is basically virtual currency that can be used to purchase smart contracts and in some locations can be exchanged for real money. These smart contracts allow your applications to run on the Ethereum network. If you've heard of Bitcoin, Ether is rather similar. A good way to visualize the use of Ethereum is by considering a text messaging application. A typical text message application uses a central server to allow devices to communicate. All processing power is performed on the single central server. Your text message is then stored on that server. A text message application used on the decentralized Ethereum network splits the computing load of processing a text message amongst multiple machines. This not only allows for the text message to be processed faster, but allows for a layer of security since your text message isn't stored in just one place. No one can access your full text message. Now, the Ethereum network wouldn't just be used to send text messages. It could be used to process a large amount of data, perhaps in a software that can predict the stock market based on past and current trends. The only technology similar to Ethereum would be Bitcoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin are similar in the fact that they can both operate as virtual currency. However, Ethereum focuses on the purchase of smart contracts to utilize the network's processing power, while Bitcoin focuses on the delivering of virtual currency that can be used for real-world purchases. One of the largest advantages to Ethereum is the fact that everyone that participates in it remains anonymous. Additionally, a person's smart contract remains anonymous. This is achieved through the fact that accounts and smart contracts are not explicitly tied to an individual. For example, one person can own multiple accounts and multiple people can own one account. No Ethereum account has a person's name on it. All processing power is purchased through the anonymous smart contracts. These smart contracts are put up for bid, and any individual with the processing power to complete the task can bid on the contract. There are no restrictions on how many computers can process one smart contract. Once the smart contract is won, potentially by several machines, the processing need is completed by the machines, and in return, the owners of the machines receive Ether. DApps are decentralized applications built to run on the Ethereum network. These applications are constructed to strategically load application resource needs across multiple machines. These applications can range from simple math calculators to investing systems, and the number of available D application grows every day.
There are a significant number of ethical concerns that have been raised by the growth of this blockchain technology. The emergence of this technology begs the question, who is responsible for whatever new applications this technology creates? The distributed nature of this technology makes the question incredibly difficult to answer. The answer most people would assume is that the author of the project would be held accountable. However, Ethereum has no built-in mechanics for tracking who submits a request. With potentially thousands of people all working simultaneously on a single project, they all become authors. Is each individual responsible, even if they did not know the ultimate purpose for which their computing power is being used? With how new the technology is, we as a society have yet to decide on an answer.
Ethereum's distributed nature creates some policy issues as well. First of all, as talked about on the ethical side of things, accounts are not tied to an individual person. As such, who owns this account? Since accounts don't need a necessary person behind them, is there a legal party that is associated with that account? And who takes blame when legal issues arise regarding the account? Also, can an account be sued if something goes wrong? Also, without a legal party assigned to an account, how do the contracts, the smart contracts between accounts work? Can they be considered legal contracts? Can they be enforced by law? Without a legal party behind them, this raises a lot of interesting questions. Additionally, when a decentralized application is written for Ethereum, who gets credited with the licensing and the authorship of the application? As said, there are many potential authors of an application, and how is the licensing applied to each? The centralized Ethereum platform is licensed on the GNU license, But are each of the applications fall under this? Also, can a proprietary application be written used on Ethereum and still receive its proprietary nature? These are all questions that must be dealt with by legislation and policy writing.
Since Ethereum is a decentralized platform, it has the potential to create a few cultural issues. The first issue would be that anyone participating in the computer receives a reward for their work. However, Ethereum does not pay them in dollars for the reward. Ethereum pays them in a digital asset called Ether. Well, so what is Ether? One way of looking at it is that Ether is the fuel that makes dApps or decentralized apps run, just like gas makes your car run. So does this mean Ether has the potential to be a new type of currency worldwide? The second cultural issue is that Ethereum has the potential to positively or negatively affect countries and their citizens. It has this potential because Ethereum is a decentralized platform that was built to run applications exactly as programmed, without any possibility of censorship, fraud, or third-party interference. Without these filters, could certain apps running on Ethereum make countries and their citizens more vulnerable?